आज भारतीय सेना के 31वें थल सेना अध्यक्ष का पदभार ग्रहण करना मेरे लिए गर्व और विनम्रता का क्षण है। ड्यूटी, ऑनर और नेशन फर्स्ट के आदर्शों के प्रति अपनी अटूट प्रतिबद्धता के साथ मैं इस जिम्मेदारी को स्वीकार करता हूं। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी और माननीय रक्षा मंत्री जी के प्रति अपना आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, जिन्होंने मुझ पर विश्वास किया और भारतीय सेना का नेतृत्व करने का ये गौरव और उत्तरदायित्व सौंपा। मैं उन वीर सैनिकों को भी अपनी विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं, जिन्होंने राष्ट्र की सेवा में अपना सर्वोच्च बलिदान दिया। उनका साहस, कर्तव्य निष्ठा और निस्वार्थ समर्पण आने वाली पीढ़ियों को प्रेरित करती रहेगी। भारतीय सेना, जैसे कि आप सब वाकिफ हैं, एक कॉम्बैट रेडी और बैटल हार्डन्ड फोर्स है और युद्ध क्षेत्र की हर चुनौती का सामना करने के लिए सदैव तैयार और सक्षम है। इस बदलते सिक्योरिटी एनवायरनमेंट की चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए हमें सेना के मॉडर्नाइजेशन यानी कि आधुनिकीकरण को नए उत्साह और दृढ़ संकल्प के साथ आगे बढ़ाना होगा। हमारा उद्देश्य एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी इनेबल्ड फ्यूचर रेडी आर्मी का निर्माण करना है जो हर तरीके से सशक्त हो और मल्टी डोमेन में ऑपरेट करने के लिए सक्षम हो। इन सभी उद्देश्यों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए और माननीय रक्षा मंत्री द्वारा डेकेड ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के अंतर्गत दिए गए मार्गदर्शन से प्रेरणा लेते हुए मैंने अपने फोकस एरियाज निर्धारित किए हैं। आई हैव पुट देम टुगेदर इन एन एक्रोनिम कॉल्ड विजय। विजय का प्रत्येक लेटर व अक्षर मेरी प्राथमिकताओं को दर्शाता है और इनका मैं संक्षेप में विवरण करूंगा।
Coming up after a short break, viewers, we get you more details. DMK and TVK trade horse trading allegations. DMK files official complaint with TN governor against TVK. Much more after a short break. Stay on with us.
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाई जीरा से। MTH का जल जीरा, जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time, and now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job, but it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way, but there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Mann, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same guy, you'd say? We all age. But some people, their appearance changes distinctly between 12 to 13 years. They're almost unrecognizable. And Bhagwant Mann is, fortunately or unfortunately, among
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
राजा और मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला हम्बल हो, मैं हम्बल हो रहा हूँ।
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old. Don't
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just,
What do you mean back then? If you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean...
What am I then? Back then. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Mann's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Viewers, even as Pakistan's propaganda continues, the Aman Ki Asha lobby is back. They want talks with Islamabad. They want a dialogue with Islamabad. The only question that we ask you and we ask them, has Pakistan spoken against terror? that we should be back to dialogue? We take a look at our top headlines. Union Home Minister Amit Shah launches the new FCRA 2.0 portal and e-OCI card in New Delhi today. Congress is in panic over the new FCRA rules. They call it Draconian and seek rollback. As Pakistan holds anti-India conference, the Aman Ki Asha lobby in India wants talks with Pakistan.
You have to think out of the box if you want to, resolve the Kashmir, whatever you may call it, conflict, issue or issues of Kashmir. But for that, you need to have open mind, whether it is not only with Pakistan, even with China.
No surprises there. Mainstream opposition joins Hurriyat leaders in asking for India-Pakistan talks. 1 year after Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor, Aman Ki Asha lobby strikes back. Prime Minister Modi is chairing the key cabinet meeting today ahead of the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament. Sources say Ayodhya police could seek permission to rope in ED. Final call on ED probe will be taken by the DGP. And DMK TVK trade horse trading allegations. DMK files official complaint with TN governor against TVK. Pakistan viewers hosts an anti-India conference. It's filled with propaganda. Sections of the Indian Aman Ki Asha lobby, however, including mainstream opposition parties, make renewed calls for dialogue with Islamabad. They're urging India-Pakistan talks exactly 1 year after the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor. This push for engagement is triggering sharp criticism in India. It shows that even as Islamabad is not taking any concrete steps, the anti-India activities continue. The biggest danger here is from the Aman Ki Asha brigade. It's dangerous strategic amnesia. Republic speaks to the signatories of the letter. PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti stirred controversy by comparing the current situation in Kashmir to the Iran war and urging the Indian government to initiate talks with both Pakistan and China.
The whole world is changing. The politics, the situation around us everywhere is changing, and we also need to change because government of India tried to resolve the Kashmir issue by scrapping 370 and 35A, but we know Jammu Kashmir has been converted into an open air prison, and the situation on the ground. So I think there is a golden opportunity. As I said earlier also, any prime minister is not seen as how many years he spent as prime minister or how powerful he was. His legacy should be how many conflicts he was able to resolve, how much reconciliation was he able to adopt with his neighborhood. So I think Modi ji has a golden opportunity, and I'm happy that RSS leadership too has been talking about whether it is Hasbole or whether it's Bhagwat ji, that we need to talk to Pakistan, we need to have cultural exchanges, we need to negotiate with them. So there is also this track to diplomacy going on, whether it was in Bangkok or in Sri Lanka. So I think something is simmering, and we should learn from Iran and America war, that how a small country like Iran was able to use its strategic position of Hormuz to bring America, I mean the whole world to the table. And Jammu Kashmir is also strategically very well placed, as is Pakistan. Pakistan is, trying to exploit its strategic position to the fullest. Why can't Jammu Kashmir become a gateway to Central Asia, to South Asia? Recently, Uttarakhand opened its, road to China via Lipo Lake. We have Khotan, we have Yarkand, we have Kashgar via Ladakh. So why don't we use Jammu Kashmir as a gateway to Central Asia, to South Asia, so that people can heave a sigh of relief? There is economic activity. And secondly, SAARC has been held hostage to the animosity between the two countries. Why can't India, move ahead and take the leadership of the SAARC countries, and Jammu Kashmir can become a model for SAARC countries' cooperation? Just, last week, by Mr. O.P. Shah, and he was very keen, and he has been trying all the time to do something. He was also involved earlier also in this kind of dialogue. So I think it's a good initiative, and this is the right time. Looking at the situation around the world, around us, in JK, Jammu Kashmir particularly, where people are totally alienated. It's like a pressure cooker like situation. We need to take the bull by the horns and talk and negotiate and, have people going across, beating each other, so that we see what is on the other side.
Republic also questioned Shahid Siddiqui, who was another of the signatories of the letter over backing talks with Pakistan. He's also defended the initiative, asserting it reflects not just the opposition's view, but the sentiments of the people of India. It seems they have strategic amnesia. Listen to what he says.
तो हमारा मानना यह है कि आज फिर हालात बदलने की ज़रूरत है, और इसीलिए हमने ये चिट्ठी लिखी है दोनों देश के प्रधानमंत्रियों कि आप कब तक जनता को सज़ा देते रहेंगे। आज हमारे किसी को जाना है इंग्लैंड, किसी को जाना है फ्रांस, किसी को जाना है रशिया, घूम के जाना पड़ता है, पाकिस्तान के ऊपर से हम ट्रैवल नहीं कर सकते। इसी तरह से और हमारी हज़ारों चीज़ें हैं, आदान प्रदान हैं, वहाँ कुछ चीज़ों की ज़रूरत होती है जो यहाँ से अनाज जल्दी जा सकता है। इस तरह से करतपुर साहब में सिख इतने खुश थे, हमारे सिख भाई वहाँ जा पा रहे थे, वो बंद हो गया। और हमारे कितने हिंदू हैं जो यहाँ आना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए अजमेर शरीफ आना चाहते हैं बहुत सारे लोग, वो नहीं आ पा रहे हैं। तो ये सारे ह्यूमन रिलेशंस हमें बनाए रखने चाहिए। बाकी झगड़ा करते रहिए, राजनीति के हिसाब से भी फौज भी जो अगर वहाँ से आतंकवाद है, वहाँ से बुराई है, तो उसका डटकर मुकाबला करो, लेकिन साथ साथ दोस्ती भी रहनी चाहिए। और ये अकेला मैं नहीं कह रहा, पूरी दुनिया में ये होता आया है कि आप कितने भी दुश्मन हो, ह्यूमन लेवल पर रिश्ते रखने चाहिए।
सवाल ये भी खड़े हो रहे हैं कि जब आतंकवाद के मुद्दे पर पूरी दुनिया पाकिस्तान को अलग थलग करती है, तो वहीं दूसरी तरफ जो 61 नेताओं ने जो चिट्ठी लिखी है, आप कह रहे हैं देश के नागरिक हैं लेकिन विपक्ष के नेता भी है ये, तो ऐसे में सर क्लीन चिट क्यों दिया जा रहा है उन्हें?
क्लीन चिट हम कब दे रहे हैं? हमने कब कहा कि आतंकवाद पाकिस्तान जिम्मेदार नहीं है? हमने कब कहा कि लश्कर तैयबा के खिलाफ या उसके खिलाफ एक्शन नहीं करो? बिल्कुल करे, भारत को करना चाहिए, जहां जरूरत पड़े वहां मुंह तोड़ जवाब देना चाहिए। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ हम ये कह रहे हैं कि आप ह्यूमन जो रिश्ते हैं वो भी बने रहने चाहिए। ये चाइना के साथ भी हमारे टकराव है, चाइना ने हमारी कितनी ज़मीन पर कब्जा कर रखा है, तो हम क्या चाइना से हम कारोबार बंद कर देंगे? आज हम कारोबार हमारा बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, दुगना तिगना होता जा रहा है। क्यों होता जा रहा है? हम चाइना के साथ अगर कर सकते हैं तो पाकिस्तान के साथ भी कर सकते हैं। बांग्लादेश के साथ हमारे ताल्लुकात बहुत अच्छे थे, आज अच्छे नहीं हैं, लेकिन हम फिर ठीक करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम हमेशा के लिए बांग्लादेश को दुश्मन नहीं बना सकते, हमेशा के लिए पड़ोसी दुश्मन बन के नहीं रह सकते। हमारा बस इतना कहना है, इससे ज़्यादा हम कुछ नहीं कह रहे।
सर, फारूक अब्दुल्ला और महबूबा मुफ्ती की बात करें तो मतलब वाकई में क्या उन्हें देश की चिंता है या कश्मीर में अपनी सियासत राह ढूंढ रहे हैं?
नहीं, देखिए, मुझे कोई शक नहीं है फारूक अब्दुल्ला या महबूबा मुफ्ती की ईमानदारी पे और देशभक्ति पे। इन्हीं महबूबा मुफ्ती को भाजपा ने, मोदी जी ने मुख्यमंत्री बनाया, तो ये जान के बनाया होगा ना कि देशभक्त हैं। ये जान के तो नहीं बनाया होगा कि ये पाकिस्तानी एजेंट है। और यही फारूक अब्दुल्ला, उमर अब्दुल्ला जो हैं अटल जी की सरकार में फॉरेन मिनिस्टर रहे, तो कैसे रहे? वो आज चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं। तो मैं ये सब जो है हमें छोटी बातों से निकलना चाहिए।
BJP leader Shazia Ilmi now joins us. Shazia, it's shocking to really grasp what the opposition is trying to say. They seem to have amnesia because exactly 1 year back there was Operation Sindoor. Pakistan is hosting an international conference in Islamabad to strengthen its legal stance against India's suspension of the 1960 Indus Water Treaty. And yet, there is a section in the opposition that wants dialogue again with Islamabad.
Good evening, Rhythm. I would like to say, first of all, that before we talk of any peace corridors, I think we have to remember the women whose sindoor was wiped out in Pahalgam. National security is not theory for them. It is a personal loss. And BJP's stated policy, which is the government stated policy, is that terror and talks cannot go together. And this has been a central doctrine since the Uri attack and Pulwama attack, and of course the Pahalgam attack. So government position is clear. Dialogue is not rejected permanently. We've done our very best to ensure that there are peaceful and cordial relations. But dialogue cannot proceed while Pakistan's military intelligence ecosystem, the terror industry is at work. And I think that is very problematic. I mean, I'm quite surprised by the signatories of this Aman Ki Asha people who do not realize that normalization cannot precede accountability. And the core issue, Rhythm, is not any diplomatic absence. We are talking about state-sponsored terror. And I mean, how can you not look at it? And they think people want it. I heard Shahid Siddiqui Saab saying people want it. No, people don't want it. Think of the national sentiment. Think of what India went through. Think of the abyss of despair the people of India found themselves in when ordinary tourists, women who went to Pahalgam for a holiday came back widowed. So, I mean, come on, what are we talking about? So, if you're talking about from BJP's perspective or the government's, perspective, Kashmir is not an outstanding issue. It is a very internal matter of India, and that is absolute. So, I don't understand what is being said right now and what significance it has.
I think very important also, Shazia, for our viewers to remember one of the statements that came out from the government at that time on 14th May 2025 when they said Pakistan-backed attackers had stormed a village on 22nd of April and they had asked people their religion and killed them, resulting in 26 deaths. They were trying to incite communal violence.
That's what I'm talking about. So religious targeting. How can India be okay with it?
And the larger question that therefore also I want to tell our viewers, the conference that is being held in Islamabad, Shazia, it saw inflammatory remarks from Pakistani officials. Minister Musaddiq Malik threatened Pakistan would cut off those hands, claiming it's water. While Khwaja Asif, the defense minister, warned Pakistan could view water threats as a casus belli. It's very clear that Pakistan is not ready for dialogue, and here we have these terror apologists pushing them for dialogue.
Yes, it is indeed. It is a sad state of affairs. And I think this 100 citizens who are signatories to this, and it includes Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti and Mir Wais Umar, obviously don't realize what it means for an ordinary citizen and what it meant for India, when Uri attack happened, when Pathankot happened, and of course when Pahalgam happened. So, there were ordinary women, tourists who went there and the women came back widowed. And that's when Operation Sindoor happened. But I don't expect the opposition to understand, because the opposition there in the parliament when Operation Sindoor happened was asking questions of India. They were speaking for Pakistan. They were speaking for the other side. And they were asking us questions that no nationalist Indian would ever ask. So I think it's a very sorry state of affairs. And they talk about peace, but there's obviously politics behind writing it. Some kind of, political strategic framing behind it. And we can see through it.
That's true.
One can see through it.
And Shazia, I thank you for your perspective here. It's something that Indians will remember, that we don't forget and we don't forgive. Thank you, Shazia, for giving us your time. Viewers, the other focus that we're tracking, National Anti-Terrorism Front held protest against UN office in Jammu over the POK atrocities over civilians. Protests over silence of UN military observer groups over innocents being massacred in POJK. The National Anti-Terrorism Front demands immediate intervention of UN to stop the atrocities by Pakistan Army. We're showing you those visuals that are coming in. My colleague Gursimran had earlier also done a report on this. These are the visuals. It shows how anti-Pakistan protests are being held, and it's ironic. It is the same visuals that needs to be seen by Mehbooba Mufti, Farooq Abdullah, Shahid Siddiqui and all others who are demanding that we have talks with Pakistan. These visuals at the UN office in Jammu are also showing how they are saying innocents are being massacred. Let's look at the report by my colleague Goswami.
National Anti-Terrorism Front is holding protest outside the UN office here in Jammu against the atrocities that are being committed upon. This is the field station of the United Nations military observer groups, and here you will see that the protesters have gathered here in the large numbers. The protesters are demanding that the silence that is being actually followed by the UN, that needs to come to an end, and they need to speak. Here you will see that the deployment of the police is also there, and they want that peace to take place. Here the protests are taking place. Sir, आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, लगातार यहाँ पर जो है वो the protest is taking place, as Ashu is showing you the visuals, that here the thousands of the supporters, hundreds of people, they have come here in the large numbers, and what they want that the UN should actually take action against what is happening in Pakistan, especially the targeting of the civilians that is taking place. And outside the UN office you will see that the security has also been beefed up. Here we have some protesters with us also. We'll try to speak to them. मैडम, आप लोग यहाँ विरोध प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं, क्या मांग?
सर, सबसे पहले तो हम ये बोलना चाहते हैं कि भारत का भविष्य एक अंग था पीओजे के, और कहीं ना कहीं हम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री से भी ये ज़रूर बोलेंगे कि उनके मैनिफेस्टो में भी ये ज़रूर लिखा गया था कि सबसे पहले अगर ऐसी कोई बात आएगी, और ये राइट टाइम है, क्योंकि वहाँ के लोग अगर अपनी बेसिक नीड्स की बात कर रहे हैं, वहाँ की एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, वहाँ के हक की बात कर रहे हैं, तो उन पर पाकिस्तान आर्मी जो है वो गोलियाँ बरसा रही है। ये एक ह्यूमन राइट का वायलेशन चल रहा है, और पूरे भारत के ऊपर अब नज़र टिका के वो लोग कहाँ, हम यूएनओ से, स्पेशली पीसफुल कंट्री से बोलना चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा गौर फरमाइए इस तरफ भी, क्योंकि ये एक भारत है और ये भी एक हमारे पूरे विश्व में जब भी कोई ऐसी बात होती है तो सारी कंट्रीज की नज़र भारत पे ज़रूर होती है। क्या अब उनको ये नहीं दिखाई दे रहा कि उन्हीं के लोग, पीओके के लोगों को, जो कि अपने राइट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, छोटी छोटी नीड्स की बात कर रहे हैं, उन्हीं पे गोलियां बरसाने के लिए बमबारिंग करना, ये कहाँ का एक अधिकार है? कहाँ का अधिकार है? सर, आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, यूएन साइलेंट है, क्या कहेंगे?
मैं सबसे पहले यही कहूँगी कि जो पाकिस्तान आर्मी है बहुत गंदी हरकतें, बहुत शेमफुल कार्य कर रही है कि जहाँ पे अपना हक मांगना, एजुकेशन मांगना, हेल्थ मांगना, जो नीड रोज की जो नीड बेसिक उनकी काम है, उन पे वो गोलियां चला रहे हैं। क्या चाहे वो हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई है कोई भी, लेकिन वो है तो हमारा अंग है।
So this should not happen, that is what they are saying, and here you will see that holding these banners that ये जो POJK में दहशतगर्दी है, इसके पीछे पाकिस्तानी फौज की वर्दी है। Here the security has been beefed up with the Jammu and Kashmir police deployed here so that they do not enter the premises of the UN, but the protest continues against the Pakistan, and also the silence of the UN is being questioned. With Ashu, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
The top focus, India's monsoon session brings widespread chaos, destruction across multiple states. Heavy rainfall triggered flooding, landslides and severe waterlogging, disrupting daily life, causing significant damage to infrastructure. From Gujarat to Mumbai, Assam to Arunachal Pradesh to Himachal Pradesh, rescue teams are working round the clock as authorities monitor the situation. There's heavy rainfall in Mumbai that's resulting in the uprooting of a tree in Chembur. The tree fell on a school van, crushing it, killing a child inside. 5 other children were also injured. The monsoon fury has begun across the country.
India's monsoon season has begun, and once again, it has brought its chaos with it. Several states are bearing the brunt, from heavy rains and floods to landslides and waterlogging. In Gujarat, rainfall has triggered flooding in low-lying areas, disrupting daily life. Rescue teams are on high alert as water levels continue to rise in several districts.
रात को बारिश गिरने की वजह से मेरे चाचा के घर के ऊपर पूरा दीवार गिर गया है। अंदर 4 लोग थे, उनमें से जहाँ पे जो लोग 2-3 बंदे थे तो 2 लोग को निकाला और दो लोग अंदर फंस गए थे। फिर फायर ब्रिगेड आया, फायर ब्रिगेड बुलाया फिर फायर ब्रिगेड आके उन दोनों को निकाला, फिर हम सिविल हॉस्पिटल में लेके गए। फिर डॉक्टर ने बोला कि उनका मृत्यु हो गया है। तो ये घटना रात को बारिश होने की वजह से, दीवार की वजह से घटना हुई है।
Mumbai is once again struggling with severe waterlogging. Heavy downpours have brought traffic to a standstill, with many areas reporting knee-deep water on roads. In the northeast, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh have been badly hit. Landslides and rising river levels have affected multiple areas along the Assam-Arunachal border.
ये अरुणाचल में जो अभी बारिश हो रही है, बारिश की वजह से सब आप देख रहे हैं इस तरफ आपके गाड़ी आने जाने में बहुत सारे दिक्कत हो रहा है। अभी आप लोग देख रहे हैं ये जो आपके वो जो जंगल कटाई की वजह से और ये जो भी कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है शायद उसी की वजह से हो रही है। और जो धारासार बारिश हो रही है, जो आज कल रात से जो कंटिन्यू बारिश हो रहा है उसकी
तो आगे से भी बहुत बढ़ रहा है। तो इतना नहीं था कल परसों, तो इतने परसों तो नहीं था, कल से ज्यादा हो रहा है पानी। इसलिए जो अभी फेरी में बहुत दिक्कत हो रहा है हम लोग का। तो अभी जो पैसेंजर जितना भी तकलीफ में है, तो इसलिए तो थोड़ा जितना हो सकता है तो पानी जब कम होगा तब पहले जैसा था ऐसे होगा। तो इसलिए सब ऐसे ऊपर वाला को ये दुआ कर रहा हूँ पहले वाला हो जाए। तो
Several roads have been blocked and authorities are monitoring the situation closely as continuous rains threaten to worsen the flooding.
पानी बहुत हो गया था, हम लोग का घर से दिखाई नहीं दिया है, सब लेके चला गया है। इस सब बारिश दे रहा था, हम लोग तो पूरा काट गया, कपड़ा सपड़ा पूरा भीज गया, चप्पल सप्पल सब नदी में, कुछ भी बचाने को नहीं सका है। मेरा रूम का कुछ भी नहीं बचा है, सब चला गया, सिर्फ हम दोनों बचाए। अपना पति को भी हम बचाया है, बरंडा में निकल गया था बोल के पति को भी बचाया है। पास में जहाँ वाल लगाया है ना, उधर में नीचे में वो है नदी है, इस समय वाल लगाया है। अब नदी बढ़ने से भी हम लोग को तो पता नहीं चलेगा, वाल ही कैसे देखेगा।
कि मैक्सिमम हम लोग का 100 में से जो 80% है वो विक्टिम्स है, और जो 20 या 30% है हम लोग जो ये डी और सी बी ये क्वार्टर साइड में है, जो कि अभी सेफ्टी है। तो हम लोग का नंबर्स थोड़ा कम है, तो मैक्सिमम जो विक्टिम्स है उसका नंबर्स ज्यादा है। तो
Lahore Spiti in Himachal Pradesh is also facing the impact of heavy monsoon rains. The picturesque region of Jispa is now seeing significant damage. Jispa's roads and infrastructure are being affected by landslides and flash floods.
Coming up after a short break, we get you more details of the Congress that's panicking over the new FCRA rules. They call it Draconian. They seek a rollback. Much more after a short break. Stay on with us.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much. आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus. Right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old. Don't
no, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just,
What do you mean back then? No, if you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean...
What am I then? Back then.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's...
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा और मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा सिप। MTH का जल जीरा, जीरा सिप।
जीरा सिप, असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van. And then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Moharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, Le fir aage, which means, look, we are back. And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast. And the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now, the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one Shoaib, Zahid Khan and Taslim. Shoaib organized the event, and Zahid and Taslim were the ones waving the flag while standing on the vehicle before the vehicle was blown up. This is what has happened. And this is the strangest and most dangerous incident that has happened, because we don't know what is the message that they were trying to send by carrying out a car explosion. Please look at these pictures with concern. A crane hoists a car 50 feet into the air, and a mock terrorist attack is carried out, a hanging enacted with little purpose connecting the act to the occasion, there was an attempt at some kind of messaging, and ladies and gentlemen, remember what happened in Red Fort. Just 8 months back, there was a blast at Red Fort, and today, 8 months later, some people are celebrating with a mock terrorist attack. What kind of provocation is this? Why should we accept this provocation? Look at the visuals very clearly and ask for sensitivity here. Is there some signaling some people are trying to do, and what is the way these people should be dealt with who talk like that, who do these kind of things? If this is an attempt at trying to project a mindset of conflict and combat in our society, where is the rule of law? Is the messaging that they're ready for strife or wanting to create conflict, terrorism in society? Viewers,
Union Home Minister Amit Shah launches the new FCRA 2.0 portal and e-OCI cards in New Delhi. Congress panics over new FCRA rules, calls it Draconian and seeks rollback. As Pakistan holds anti-India conference, Aman Ki Asha lobby in India seeks talks with terrorist state. Mainstream opposition joins Hurriyat leaders in asking for India-Pakistan talks 1 year after Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor. Aman Ki Asha gang strikes again. PM Modi to chairs key cabinet meeting ahead of the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament. Sources say Ayodhya police could seek permission to rope in ED. Final call on ED probe to be taken by the DGP. DMK and TVK trade horse trading charges. DMK files official complaint with the Tamil Nadu governor against the ruling party. Welcome back, friends. Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched the FCRA 2.0 portal and the new e-OCI card system aimed at simplifying compliance, enhancing transparency and strengthening real-time monitoring through technology. But amid all this, the opposition is in complete panic over FCRA as foreign funds are now under real-time scanner. We have the likes of K.C. Venugopal of the Congress party writing a letter to the Prime Minister and taking cudgels on behalf of those NGOs which are facing the heat on account of change rules that kicked in on June 22. As per the new guidelines, there is going to be real-time monitoring of the foreign funding. There is going to be specifications given by the NGOs as to for what cause they are taking the funds, and whether this is for proselytization, this is for missionary activity, this is for the poor, this is for the medicine. They have to give all details of the causes for which that foreign funding is being taken, as also the territory. So, for example, if the missionary activity is to be carried out in Chhattisgarh, the organization or the NGO receiving those funds needs to specify that this fund is going to be spent in this particular district of that particular state. And that's something which the NGOs are not liking, because perhaps there was an element of siphoning off of funds, perhaps there was an element of using funds for various causes not aligned with India's foreign policy guidelines, and publications by key functionaries to be declared. This means that the FCRA guidelines now include broader restrictions which are not being liked. In fact, the latest CPI's D. Raja has reacted to the government and claims that the centre is trying to suppress the voice of the minorities in India. That's what the CPI believes, that these new FCRA guidelines amount to suppressing the voice of the minority. He says that the opposition will debate this issue in Parliament when the Parliament convenes in the monsoon session later this month. Let's listen to D. Raja.
There are many new rules, but their whole focus is in the name of religious conversion. They want to suppress the religious freedom of the people and freedom of certain religions. This is known to everybody. This is known to everybody. Our constitution is clear. From Article 25 you go down. People can follow any faith and they have the freedom to propagate also. But why these new rules are being framed? That is to curtail the freedom of religions in the name of we are stopping religious conversion. What is this? Government has no proper answer. So when issues raised in Parliament, our party with other secular democratic parties, we will debate these issues. Let us wait and see.
Well, we also have a reaction, more reactions. In fact, one from Kerala Congress MP Hebe Eden. He's from Harsh, our correspondent. Listen to him.
The FCRA 2.0 bill that has been amended by the Home Ministry yesterday. I wanted to understand because we see a lot of negative reaction coming in from Congress, because what we have learned is that several MPs, including you, KC Venugopal, have written letter to Prime Minister Modi. So what is the issue exactly?
So there are a huge number of institutions who are working in the health sector in terms of education, in terms of healthcare. A lot of charity homes, orphanages, for senior citizens' welfare. There have been charity homes which have been running in Kerala. So all these institutions have been in the past supported by the foreign funds. And in order to monitor this, in order to create a transparency, the government of India has already created a channel whereby all the FCRA registered organizations have to be registered in the SPI Parliament Street branch, where its transactions are quite transparent, and proper auditing of these institutions also have been done in the past.
So, but the point here is the government of India says that if you are doing nothing wrong, you need not to be worried. So they say that if any NGO is doing any social activity, they need not to worry, because this action, there will only be an action taken if there is some unlawful use of these funds is found. So what I'm trying to understand from you is that why is the Congress and the opposition, in fact, having issues with the government of India saying that they want to curb any kind of misuse of these funds that come from foreign countries and from outside the country?
No, I clearly mentioned there is no problem in monitoring the system. The funds which are utilized should be utilized in a manner which the public will benefit out of it. There are many NGOs like Greenpeace, Amenities India, Lawyers Network, whose activities have already been banned or stopped in India because of the restrictions which they brought in. Again, this is particularly targeting the minorities, where the BJP and the Sangh forces and the government of India want to control the minorities, want to show them how.
Qazi Ashraf Jahangir Qazi, who was the High Commissioner here in Delhi, Pakistan High Commissioner, when the Agra Summit happened. And the Agra Summit was worked between Qazi Saab and Advani ji. It's a pity that that summit failed, because I was then in the PMO, and Mr. Brijesh Mishra told me that it had almost happened. To quote his exact words, he said, "वो तो होता रह गया, बदकिस्मती है." तो इंडिया पाकिस्तान में बदकिस्मती है, but we still hope that people will move forward, and this I have a lot of respect for Dr. Farooq Abdullah. And when O.P. Shah called me from Srinagar and said that Dr. Farooq is signing that letter, I said that I have no problem in signing it. I'll sign it. Whether anybody else signs it or not, I have, because he knows he is the tallest leader of Kashmir. He knows Kashmir. He also knows India and Pakistan. He knows this whole South Asia. And he's been saying for a long time that we need to have peace. So that is it.
But the question is, sir, does hostility end with letters, or does it need back channel trust first? Which comes first? What do you think?
Now, this is which comes first or second doesn't matter. I don't think this letter that we have written or we have put our signatures to or whatever is going to make that much difference. It's only a question of adding to a sentiment which we feel there is now. Because when RSS leaders talk about talking to Pakistan, when Ram Madhav goes and attends a track 2 meeting in Colombo, talks to Pakistanis, that means there is somewhere some people are thinking of talking to Pakistan. So if they are thinking, we thought we should also think. I don't think there's anything wrong in that. And the important thing here is the whole Kashmiri leadership has contributed to this letter. Whether it's Mehbooba, whether it's Dr. Farooq, whether it's Yusuf Tariq Amri, whether it's the Mirwais, whether it's the senior loan, Bilal loan, whether it's Muzaffar Shah, everybody from Kashmir has signed or this thing. So it matters, this peace or whatever it is, matters most to Kashmir. Because it is the Kashmiri who suffers most. When Operation Sindoor happened, fortunately, Kashmir survived. But there were some attacks on Kashmir also at that time. So naturally the Kashmiri is concerned about this thing, that they're at the receiving end of all this. That is it.
Even today, Mehbooba Mufti, she again said this thing, that we need to talk with the Pakistan.
So that's
regarding
what Mehbooba is saying, or what Farooq is saying. I'm saying the same thing, or what the Mirwais is saying. The Mirwais' office has put out a thing that the Mirwais Sahab has signed this thing for peace.
But do you think is this genuine people-to-people pressure, or is there any strategic signaling behind it?
I don't think there's any strategy. I don't think there's this thing. It's just a thought. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a thought.
So,
this is, I think we need to think on those lines, that's all. And the lead has been provided this time by the RSS.
One question, sir. If Prime Minister Modi and Shahbaz wanted to respond to this later without looking soft, what one concrete step would you suggest to test trust but protect nation interest?
I'm not expecting any response either from the Pakistan Prime Minister or Prime Minister Modi here. They have to take their own decisions. We are nobody to tell. I'm nobody to tell my Prime Minister what to do. This is just a sentiment that we are expressing together. That, if the RSS feels this, and if you have a conference in Colombo, then I think feeling was that this is a good time to talk of peace, to talk of talking.
But my question is, sir, whatever happened during Pahalgam attack, though the way Pakistan sheltered terrorism, do you think peace talk is really required, or what? It will work?
I think talk is always required. Whether it will work or not, time will tell. But it's not a very good option not to talk. Pahalgam, of course, I have no doubt that Pakistan was involved. And Pakistan continues to be involved in terrorism in Kashmir. That also is there. But point is, unless you talk to somebody, and most of the talking generally in diplomacy also is done with, you talk to your enemies first to make peace. Friends are always friends. It's understood. If President Trump is a friend of Modi ji's, then it's understood. But if Shahbaz is not a friend, then maybe talking might. We know that his brother, Mian Sahib, Nawaz Sharif, was always for peace. You remember when Prime Minister Vajpayee went to Lahore and Mian Sahib, Nawaz Sharif was the Prime Minister there, and they both stood together and said, "Hum jang na hone denge. We will not allow war to happen." So there have been sentiments expressed in the past, and I'm nobody. But if you go back to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, or you go back to Dr. Manmohan Singh, and even our Prime Minister has said in the context of the Ukraine problem, or even the Iran thing, that war is not an option. War will not solve anything. I think Modi ji has said this quite a few times.
Sir, there is a question. I remember during your book launch you said that we have to move forward with the Pakistan, we have to need talk. So you are strict on this, that we have to need to talk with the Pakistan only.
That's exactly what Aman ki Asha does, forgetting and perhaps even forgiving the likes of Asim Munir, who said that they are not Hindus, which means Pakistan is in a perpetual state of war with India. That's our focus in the prime time. But moving on for now, a breaking news development: high-level committee on demographic changes that was formed by the Centre called on the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The committee, led by Justice Prakash Navlekar, informed the minister about its decisions to visit various states and union territories to get first-hand ground-level details. The committee will also interact with ministries of central government to receive feedback on subjects related to demographic changes. I believe we have Niranjan joining us for more on this. This was a demographic change committee that was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his Independence Day speech last year. Subsequently, the committee was set up under the chairmanship of retired Supreme Court Judge Justice P.P. Navlekar, and the committee has started its work, making a courtesy call on the Union Home Minister. Let's go to Niranjan for more on this. Niranjan, the committee led by Justice Navlekar has met Union Home Minister. They want to travel across the country. Obviously, their focus would be those particular geographies where demographic change is more pronounced, like the Northeast and some pockets in the tribal belt. What are you hearing about what transpired between the committee and the Union Home Minister?
Abhishek, essentially the Home Minister has met them. I think what the biggest takeaway for us when we wanted to bring out the story was to tell people that the government is looking at the demographic change in a very big way. When we say demographic change, what do we say when it's when we mention demographic change? Why was the SIR brought in? The SIR was brought in to weed out infiltrators, to weed out illegal voters from the system. There is a demographic change which is happening rapidly, especially in some states, border states like Assam, states like Bengal, and across India. Demographic change, even in some southern states like Karnataka, demographic change is a concern. When you have infiltrators moving in large numbers, and there is a concerted attempt to use that for different purposes. Now, the Prime Minister spoke about demographic change in a panel to study demographic change, and this panel has called on the Home Minister. Why is it critical? It's critical because, it tells you the government is working towards a direction, and that direction is to ensure that we stop the demographic change. And politically speaking, different political parties, including NDA parties mostly, have stressed on why they need to fight this demographic change. Some speak of having more children for Hindus, etc. Now, there is a pattern to it. Now, specifically speaking about today's meeting, some of the takeaways from the meeting include, one, that the Home Minister, the high-level committee has spoken about with the Home Minister about their decisions, and one of those decisions, like you mentioned, is to visit all the different states and union territories. Secondly, this committee will also interact with ministries of central governments to get feedback on subjects related to demographic change. So initial exercise has begun. This is very initial stages. The high-level committee is also informed that a detailed questionnaire has been prepared to receive relevant information from states or union territories in advance to make it more interactive. The Home Minister, while talking about the strategy that they've adopted, that is the committee's adopted, has directed the Home Secretary to provide all possible assistance. The Home Minister has also suggested that a high-level committee will provide its recommendation at the earliest. And this is after the Prime Minister, of course, had announced high-powered demography mission from his speech on the 15th of August 2025. And the Prime Minister and the government had also constituted a high-level committee to study the demographic changes arising primarily from illegal immigration and other abnormal reasons to suggest measures to deal with these demographic changes. It is a concern, Abhishek. You've seen, the population patterns change rapidly, unexplainably in many parts of the country, linked to infiltration mostly. And I think it's linked to the overall aim of the government to fight that. You saw that with SIR, now with this demography mission.
All right. Thank you so much, Niranjan, for that update. And we, of course, would keep close track of what transpires in that demographic committee and its work as they travel across the country. Moving on for now, and some news from Karnataka. 3 persons, including 2 children, were declared dead after a massive landslide buried a house in the Nagori area of Mangaluru. The rescue operation has been concluded, and they pulled out the 3 survivors, 1 man and 2 girls, who were later shifted to a hospital for treatment. The incident occurred behind the Kankanadi police station when a hillock adjacent to a residential building suddenly collapsed. Here are the details.
A massive landslide buried a house in the Nagori area of Mangalore. 3 persons, including 2 children, were declared dead after the massive landslide. The rescue operation to save the trapped has been concluded. The incident occurred behind the Kankanadi police station when a hillock adjacent to the residential building suddenly collapsed. The landslide damaged the house and trapped 6 people from different families under the debris. Preliminary findings showed that a large mass of soil from the hill above the house gave way due to the torrential rain, causing the house to collapse. Meanwhile, rescue teams pulled out 3 survivors, 1 man and 2 girls, who were later shifted to hospital for treatment. The bodies of 1 woman and 2 girls were later recovered from the rubble. However, 3 others, including 2 children, could not be saved and reportedly died due to suffocation.
Short break, and coming up on the other side, Congress panics over new FCRA rules, calls them draconian and seeks rollback.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way, but there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Mann, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same guy, you'd say? We all age, but some people, their appearance changes distinctly between 12 to 13 years. They're almost unrecognizable. And Bhagwant Mann is, fortunately or unfortunately, among those people. Now, what Bhagwant Mann is trying to say is, the guy you see in the pictures, in the sacrilege video, is not me. And he's banking on the fact that he looks different now. Now look at the picture on.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट, स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much. आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right? There was. People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old.
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just,
What do you mean back then? If you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean.
What am I then? Back then.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Mann's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He's doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way, but there's a distinct physical difference.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Yesu Bharadwaj. Lots lined up for you on the news wheel ahead. But first, like usual, a check on your headlines. Union Home Minister Amit Shah launches new FCRA 2.0 portal and e-OCI card in New Delhi. Congress panics over new FCRA rules, calls it Draconian and seeks an immediate rollback. Pakistan holds anti-India conference. Aman Ki Asha lobby in India seeks talks with Pakistan once again. Mainstream opposition joins Hurriyat leaders in asking for India-Pakistan talks 1 year after Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor. Aman Ki Asha lobby strikes back. Prime Minister Modi chairs key cabinet meeting ahead of the upcoming monsoon session of the parliament. Sources say Ayodhya police could seek permission to rope in ED. Final call on ED probe to be taken by the DGP. DMK and TVK trade horse trading allegations. DMK files official complaint with Tamil Nadu governor against TVK. And viewers, starting first. As Pakistan hosts an anti-India conference filled with propaganda, sections of the Indian Aman Ki Asha lobby, including mainstream opposition parties, have renewed calls for dialogue with Islamabad. They're urging that India-Pakistan talks should take place exactly 1 year after the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor that was India's answer to terror. This push for engagement has triggered sharp criticism, with many accusing the lobby of ignoring Pakistan's continued hostility, cross-border terrorism and anti-India activities, even as Islamabad shows no concrete steps to dismantle terror infrastructure within Pakistan, the state-sponsored terror infrastructure that's working against India and the world. In fact, we have another breaking development coming in regarding the matter. One of the letter signatories has made a U-turn on his stand on the letter. The person in question, BL Saraf, accepts that Pakistan will not accept positive role in return of Kashmiri Pandits to Kashmir. Now, the letter signatory dissociates himself from PDP's Mehbooba Mufti over shoulder to tricolour statement. In fact, BL Saraf also says that Pakistan cannot be trusted and that he has no faith in Pakistan. A major U-turn that the signatory has now taken. In fact, we've also spoken to BL Saraf exclusively, listening to what he has to say as he makes a U-turn on the letter seeking dialogue between India and Pakistan.
मोटिव तो यही था कि हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान के बीच आपस में भाईचारा हो, पीस हो। वो अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी ने कहा है कि हम दोस्त बदल सकते हैं, पड़ोसी को नहीं बदल सकते हैं। तो पड़ोसियों के साथ तो ये कॉमन सेंस है कि रिश्ता ठीक होना चाहिए। तो इसी सिलसिले में मेरी ये वजह। दूसरा, मैं कश्मीरी पंडित हूँ, कश्मीरी पंडितों का नुमाइंदा नहीं हूँ। मैं बात करूँगा अपने लिए करूँगा। इस वक्त विस्थापित हूँ, तो मैं विस्थापित हुआ। मेरी विस्थापित होने में पाकिस्तान बड़ा एक अहम फैक्टर है। और भी कुछ होंगे, मगर मैं मानता हूँ कि पाकिस्तान ही मेरा वहाँ से निकालने में एक फैक्टर है। तो मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि अगर पाकिस्तान और हिंदुस्तान के बीच रिश्ता ठीक हो तो शायद मैं घर जा सकता हूँ। तो उस हिसाब से मेरा पीस, इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान पीस में एक वेस्टेड सा इंटरेस्ट है। सो मेरी ये वजह है। एक दूसरी, ये हमारी आस्था है शारदा मंदिर पर, और भी शारदा और भी है। तो हम मानते हैं कि शारदा जो धाम है, शारदा मंदिर जो है, जो उसमें हमारा आना जाना हो जाए कि हमारे इष्ट देवी है, वो बस सरस्वती है हमारी क्या, वो पूरे पाकिस्तान की भी है, पूरी सब कॉन्टिनेंट की है। तो उसका आना जाना भी हमारा रहे। तो ये तभी हो सकता है कि अगर हमारे थोड़े से हालात आपस पाकिस्तान के साथ बेहतर हों।
Okay, and the man who drafted this letter, who took the initiative to get all the signatories together, is now joining us live. So this is breaking news right now. We're going to break the news of Mr. Ropi Shah. Mr. Ropi Shah is the chairman, Center for Peace and Progress, joining us on Republic TV since the letter was written. And he got all the signatories together, 56 signatories from Pakistan and 61 signatories from India, including himself. He's one of the signatories and also drafted the letter, took the initiative. Mr. Shah, it appears to be a coordinated exercise. When you look at the track two, and then you have the comments coming from both sides of the border, and then on cue there is a letter written. Did you coordinate with anybody from the Pakistani side when this letter was written, Mr. Shah?